Grace Kessler. I go to North Atlanta High School, and I'm going to Auburn next year.
I'm Patrick Marsden. I go to Ben Franklin Academy, and I'm going to Auburn University.
I'm Jack McCluskey. I go to Holy Innocents, and I'm going to Auburn.
I'm Vance Elliott. I go to Westminster, and I'm going to Virginia.
I'm Matthew Spillman. I go to Westminster, and I'm going to Georgia Tech.
Hi, I'm Ethan Curnow. I go to North Atlanta, and I'm going to Georgia Tech.
I'm Nick O'Reilly. I go to Westminster, and I'm going to Tulane.
I'm Andrew Abernathy. I go to Westminster, and I'm going to Washington Lee.
I'm Will Idbo. I go to Westminster, and I'm going to Texas.
I'm Noel Jones. I go to Westminster too, and I'm going to Virginia.
I'm Hayden Pennington. I go to Westminster, and I'm going to Alabama.
I'm Wright Formasana. I go to Marist, and I'm going to Alabama.
I'm Ava Tanzella. I go to Marist, and I'm going to Ole Miss.
Lawrence Harris. I go to Marist. I'm going to Wake Forest.
I'm Will Brennan. I go to Pace. I'm going to Alabama.
I'm Robert Hauser. I go to Pace. I'm going to Auburn.
I'm Trip Trimble. I go to Pace, and I'm going to Georgia.
Okay, guys, you'll have to be so much louder.
All right.
Wow.
I'm Sam Webb. I'm going to Pace Academy, and I'm going to Georgia Tech.
I'm Blake Mutz. I go to North Atlanta, and I'm going to Florida.
I'm Charlie Beckham. I go to North Atlanta, and I'm going to Florida State.
I'm Evan Algerson. I go to North Atlanta, and I'm going to Stetson.
I'm Marissa Humphreys. I go to North Atlanta, and I'm going to Texas.
I'm Evie Ernest. I go to Westminster, and I'm going to Georgia next year.
I'm Graham Barnett. I go to North Atlanta. I'm going to Alabama. I'm Hayden Percival. I go to North Atlanta, and I'm going to Georgia Tech.
I'm Avery Fastnight. I go to Whitfield, and I'm going to SMU.
I'm Sadie Holder. I go to Westminster, and I'm going to Texas.
I'm Lane Brickley. I go to Pace Academy, and I'm going to Miami of Ohio.
I'm Grace Hatfield. I go to Pace, and I go to Auburn. I'm Kate Bell. I go to Holy Innocents, and I'm going to Auburn. I'm Lizzie Kay. I go to Pace, and I'm going to Virginia.
I'm Martha Revis. I go to Westminster, and I'm going to UVA. I'm Olivia. I go to Westminster, and I'm going to Alabama.
I'm Margaret Evans. I go to Lovett, and I'm going to Auburn. I'm Lily Cummings. I go to Pace, and I'm going to Tulane.
I'm Eleanor Carroll. I go to Westminster, and I'm going to Wake Forest.
I'm Caroline Pickle. I go to Paideia, and I'm going to South Carolina. I'm Molly Pickle. I go to Paideia, and I'm going to Georgia.
I'm Caroline Haygood. I go to Westminster, and I'm going to UVA.
I'm Eve Smith. I go to North Atlanta, and I'm going to Auburn.
I'm Elkie Gill. I go to Lovett, and I'm going to Carolina.
I'm Mallory Scott. I go to Lovett, and I'm going to Georgia.
I'm Tariana Smith. I go to Cedar Grove, and I'm going to the United States Marine Corps.
I'm Kaya Patel. I go to Paideia, and I'm going to UCLA.
Hi, I'm Lauren Parker. I go to North Atlanta High School, and I'm going to Kennesaw State University.
I'm Olivia Elgison. I go to North Atlanta, and I'm going to Oberlin.
I'm Laura Richard. I go to the Westminster Schools, and I'm going to Colgate.
I'm Francie. I go to Lovett, and I'm going to Wake Forest next year.
I'm Maddie. I go to Marist, and I'm going to Virginia Tech.
I'm Jade. I go to Highland Park, and I'm going to UGA.
I'm Kate Willoughby, and I go to North Atlanta. I'm going to Georgia State.
I'm Nora. I go to North Atlanta, and I'm going to Northwestern.
I'm Kate Sherbier. I go to Atlanta Classical, and I'm going to Georgia Tech. I'm Rosie. I go to North Atlanta, and I'm going to Georgia.
I'm Emily. I go to North Atlanta. I'm going to Northwestern. I'm Katie. I go to North Atlanta, and I'm going to CU Boulder.
I'm Carter. I go to North Atlanta. I'm going to Auburn.
I'm Virginia Moses. I go to North Atlanta. I'm going to Vanderbilt.
I'm Julia Nathan. I go to North Atlanta. I'm going to Auburn.
I'm Caroline Samoza. I go to North Atlanta, and I'm going to Ole Miss.
I'm Campbell Tully. I go to North Atlanta, and I'm going to Auburn.
I'm Grace Uller. I go to Woodward, and I'm going to Miami.
I'm Maddie Bartlett. I go to North Atlanta, and I'm going to Georgia Tech. I'm Dorian McElroy. I go to North Atlanta, and I'm going to Dickinson.
I'm Mabry Pearson. I go to North Atlanta, and I'm going to Georgia.
Louder.
I'm Elle Mezio. I go to Riverwood High School, and I'm going to University of Miami.
I'm Bria Young. I go to Riverwood High School, and I'm going to University of Stirling in Scotland.
I'm Davis Caldwell. I go to Lovett, and I'm going to Wake Forest next year.
I'm Clark Spengler. I go to Holy Innocents. I'm going to Georgia next year.
I'm Jack Herring. I go to St. Pius, and I'm going to Rollins next year.
Thomas Olauer. I go to Marist. I'm going to University of San Diego next year.
Charlie Caldwell. I go to Lovett, and I'm going to Georgia.
Huntley King. I go to Lovett. I'm going to Georgia.
I'm Parker Hammond. I go to Lovett. I'm going to the University of Alabama.
Alan Pope. Go to Lovett School, and I'm going to Penn State.
Charlie Hick. I go to Lovett. I'm going to Georgia.
Michael Hollingsworth. I go to Lovett, and I'm going to Bama.
Max Norman. Go to Westminster. Going to Vassar.
Will Rothschild, going to Westminster, and then I'm going to Wake Forest.
I'm John Cerrucci. I go to Lovett, and I'm going to Tulane.
I'm Hugh Trotter. I go to Westminster, and I'm going to Virginia.
I'm Caroline Causey. I go to Holy Innocents. I'm going to NC State.
I'm Ford Powell. I go to Lovett, and I'm going to Wofford.
I'm Robert Pickle. I go to Paideia, and I'm going to Furman. I'm James Richard. I go to Westminster, and I'm going to Wash U.
I'm Josh Robinson. I go to Lovett, and I'm going to Georgia Tech.
I'm Randall Hall. I go to North Atlanta, and I'm going to Charleston. Type of 13.